Hello children, welcome to my YouTube channel Math with Jeeva. Today onwards you are going to start a new journey with me to follow your math textbook, that is STP Mathematics 3A. Right? Now already you have followed STP Mathematics 1A, 2A, and you know the pattern, how they have given the examples and how they are going to have the sums for each and every concept, right? So we'll start from our first topic, that is making sure of arithmetic. Can you remember when we were following 2A book, STP Mathematics 2A book, what was the first lesson we had? That is working with numbers, right? So in that lesson, what you covered, children, you covered all the basic mathematical concepts, mathematical operations which help you to follow the rest of the lessons in that book. So likewise in this book also, the very first chapter is about making sure of arithmetics. In this chapter again we have lot of mathematical concepts, mathematical theories which help you to cover the lessons in this book too, right? Actually it's like a revision which you have done in your lower grades, right? Under this topic, first chapter, the first subtopic you have, children, addition and subtraction of fraction. Before talking about addition and subtraction of fraction, first of all, tell me what is a fraction. First of all, tell me what is a fraction. It is a portion of something. It's like this. Now let's think, my mother made a cake, right, and she cut it into 4 pieces, right, and out of those 4 pieces I ate one, and how can I express the portion I had as a fraction? It's like this. I had 4 pieces out of which I ate 1 pieces. Now you know, so these things you have covered in your lower grades, children. So you have 2 parts, denominator and numerator. So this is how fraction. And now we are going to learn about addition and subtraction of fraction. Now look at this. Okay, children, so 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5. I'll bring this sum like this. Now think, my mother made a cake and she cut it into 5 pieces, right? She cut the cake into 5 pieces, out of which my brother had, let's say 2 pieces, right? Let's say 2 pieces, 2 over 5. I had 1 piece, 1 over 5. Now altogether, the amount, the portion both of us had, how do you find, children? So we are talking about the same cake, that is same denominator, right? And my brother had 2 pieces and I had 1 pieces, and altogether the portion we had as a fraction, how can we express? So we are talking about the same cake, same denominator, and brother had 2 and I had 1, altogether we had 3 over 5, right? So that means if you are talking about the same thing, same scenario, that means if you have the same denominator, how can you add those fractions, children? You take that common, the same denominator, right? So with this line, and you just add numerator, 2 plus 1, it is 3, 3 over 5, that is the portion both of us had. Now, in the evening, my father comes from the office, right? My mother wants to serve a piece of cake together with the cup of tea, right? So now tell me, early morning she made this. Now we had 3 over 5, right? Now what is the remaining portion? right? What is the remaining portion? We had early morning, we had soon after my mother made it, it is 5 over 5. That is the full cake, right? Out of that, my brother and I had 3 over 5. So what is the remaining portion? That is 2 over 5. So do you agree with me? We had 5 pieces, out of which both of us had 3 pieces. Now what is the portion we have? Only 2 pieces. Out of which my mother is going to serve 1 piece. Right, now what is the amount remaining for her? How can you find? Again, the same way we want to do. Why? Because we are talking about the same cake. That means this, here we have the same denominator. What you can do, like earlier, you can have the common cake or the common denominator, right? They can do this subtraction like this. So what is the amount or the portion remaining for my mother? It is 1 over 5. Hope everybody understood. So this is how we can do addition and subtraction of fraction. If you have common denominator, you can take as it is, right? And you just add the numerators, or you just subtract the numerators. So this is very simple. But the problem is not this. So let's say if you have like this, children, now you have like this. Now what happened? Yesterday my mother made a cake and she cut it into 5 pieces. And today she made another cake and cut it into 10 pieces. Now we are talking about 2 different cakes, right? 2 different scenarios. Now can we add these 2 fractions like earlier easily? No. Why is that, children? Because we are talking about 2 different scenarios, or else we are talking about fractions having 2 different denominators. For that, to add them, first of all, we want to find a common denominator. So what do you mean by, so how do you find it? Common denominator, that means we want to think about the LCM, lowest common multiple. For both, so 5 and 10. So you have done them in your lower grades, but so today onwards you started a new journey. What I am doing, children, even though I am following 3A book, so if you have missed any basic concepts in your 1A book, so that class, or the 2A book class, so don't worry, I'll be there to help you and assist you to cover up all the missed parts. So today in this video I am planning to talk about LCM and how we are going to add and subtraction if time permits, right? Add and addition and subtraction if you have different denominators. Before that, we'll learn how to find the LCM, right? So lowest common multiples. Before going for the lowest common multiple, what is common multiple? So we are talking about 5 and 10 for an example. So we are going to find the common multiples for both 5 and 10. What are multiples? So can you remember? So we studied hardly the times table. 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4. So we hardly studied them, right? So what we did, children, you take one particular number and you multiply that particular number, the same number, by different natural numbers. Okay, different natural numbers. So if you do it in a sequential manner, so we have that times table, right? Either you don't want to multiply that particular number in a sequential order, but to have the times table, normally we do it in a sequential manner, right? So if it is for 3 multiples, how can you get? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, likewise you can have the multiples. Now, after finding the multiples, then we can find the common multiples, then we can find what is the lowest common multiple for both 5 and 10. For an example, now 5 and 10. Another thing I want to mention you, I don't know which method you have followed in your lower grades. To find LCM, there are two methods, right? First method and second method. You can choose either one, but I prefer to have the second one. I'll explain you why I don't like to have the first one. First of all, I'll explain the first one. To get the LCM of 5 and 10 children, what you want to do, first you take a list. Which list? Multiple list of 5. So when you have a list, normally we have it with a curly bracket, right? Then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, so on. Right? So the list is going on, right? Then how do you show it? The list is going on, comma, 3 dots, and you close the bracket. Anyone who is referring to this list, they know the list is going on. Multiples of 5. Then multiples of 10. How do you do that? Again a curly bracket, right? Because I want to have a list. Then 10, 20, 30, again list is going like this, right? Now I found the multiples of 5 and 10. What is the next thing? After identifying multiples, then we want to find the common multiples. Now tell me, what are the common multiples you can find, children? 10, 10, right? 20, 20. So from these two lists, we can find only these two numbers. But if you extend your list, you can find many common multiples like this, right? Out of 10 and 20, right? So those are the common multiples we have according to these two lists, right? So what is the lowest common multiple, children? That is 10. Now LCM of 5 and 10 is 10, right? So this is the first method. I told you I don't like this method. Because why? We want to have a list. Then we want to highlight the common multiples. Then we want to find the lowest common multiple. So in the examination, children, we cannot spend that much of time for our workings. So with the time, when you see the numbers, straight away you will get the LCMs, right? If you practice sums a lot, right? But for the time being, you want to learn how to find the LCM. So this is the first method. What you can do, whatever the given numbers, you list down the multiples. Then you find the common multiples like this. Out of the common multiples, you get the lowest common multiple. Right, so that is the first method. To go to the second method with the same number, now we identify 10 is the LCM of 5 and 10. Now to go to the second method, for that you want to know about prime numbers, right? You want to know about prime numbers. What do you mean by a prime number? You have learned these things, right? So as a revision we are doing, what is prime number, children? Any number which can be divided only by itself and by 1, right? I repeat, a number which can be divided only by itself and by 1 is a prime number. Now, to be a prime number, what are the criteria the number should follow? So what are they? First one, that particular number should be divided by itself and by 1. So that's only. So if you can divide a particular number other than that, so other than the number itself and 1, you cannot consider it as a prime number. So what are the examples for prime numbers, children? 2, 3, 5, 7, then 11, 30, those are prime numbers. Now you may think, why teacher didn't talk about number 1? Because number 1 can be divided by itself and 1 can be divided by 1. But according to the definition, what happened, children? That particular number divided by itself, that is 1 divided by 1, and divided by 1, again 1 by 1. So the same thing we are doing, right? So 1 is not a prime number. So why I wanted to explain about prime numbers, because in the second method 5 and 10, so this is how we do. We divide these given numbers by prime numbers, right? So first of all, what is the lowest prime number we have? It is number 2. So when you select a prime number, it is not required to divide all the given numbers or both numbers or all the given numbers by that particular selected prime number, right? Let's say now I am going to select 2. Now 10 is divided by 2, but 5 is not divided. We can divide with a remainder, but without a remainder we cannot divide. So but 10 can be divided, so I am going to select 2. 5 cannot be divided, so what I should do? I write 5 as it is, right? The only number I can divide here is 10. I divide and write down here 5. Now I want to complete this. I want to divide further till I get 1 at the end, right? Now next I want to divide till I want to get 1. I want to do this division, but if I select 2, I can't do this because none of the numbers divided by 2. Then I'll move to the next prime number, that is number 3. 3, no, I can't take. Then the next prime number, it is 5, so I can take 5. Now what happened? After, now you have that 1, 1. I told you, you want to divide it till you get 1. Yes, now you have. Then what you want to do, children, you take these numbers and multiply together. 2 times 5, it is 10. Now you got the same answer, right? You got the same answer, 2 times 5. Now can you understand? If you have a knowledge about prime numbers, right? If you have studied the times table, so quickly you can do this. That is why I said I prefer to have the second method when it comes to examination techniques. So the earlier method, it is correct, but so that it gives a sense about the lowest common multiple. First you find the multiples, then you selected the common ones, then you selected the lowest common one. So it gives a sense, right? So LCM, lowest common multiple, that particular method gives us a sense, but this method is better for your examination workings, right? Now why we wanted to learn about LCM? To go with addition and subtraction of fraction. Those fractions are having different denominators. To have a common denominator, we want to find the LCM. Now we discuss about it. So we'll move to questions straight away. So the example they have given in your textbook, right? I'll do like this. 2 over 3 and 7 over 8. Children, when I solve the sum, what you want to do, you want to follow the steps I am doing, because in the examination, you know, marks will be allocated for your steps. So from the beginning, it's better to practice each and every step, because if you know the fundamentals well, whatever the question you have in the exam, no need to worry, right? Okay, so here now you can't add, those are fractions with different denominators. What is the method we are going to do? So we want to find a common denominator. For that we want to find the LCM of 3 and 8. Then you want to have a working column. I forgot to tell you in the beginning. So normally when you do your maths lessons, right, in your book also you can practice this, children. You can have a separate working column rather doing so without doing here and there. You turn pages and you just do the calculation, and sometimes you use your palms. It's very ugly. And if you have like this and if you practice this method, it's easier for you and it's easier for your marker, paper marker also, how you have obtained a particular answer looking at the working column. So from the beginning, try to practice this working column. So what we want to do in the working column in this question, we want to find the LCM of 3 and 8, right? Oh, 3 and 8. So I told you I'm going to have the second method because I prefer to have it. It's easier for me. So I want to divide the given numbers starting from 2 if both are, you don't want to consider when you are selecting a prime number, no need to divide both numbers, at least one numbers, not both numbers. Sometimes you have to have 3 numbers or 4 numbers to find the denominator. So whatever the number of numbers you have to find the LCM, right? So then you want to select at least one number you can divide by 2. You just take 2, right? 2. Then 3, 3 cannot be divided. What I ask you to do, you just write as it is. You can't do anything. So you put 3 and here it is 4. Now again you want to divide one of the numbers. If it is divided by 2, then you can take 2. Again I put 3 because it cannot be divided by 2. Then 2. Again 2. 3, 1. Now hereafter you can't take 2. Now we want to move to the next prime number, that is number 3. Now what happened? I told you to divide till you get 1 at the end, right? So then what I ask you to do, take this, right? Take this, then multiply them together. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 24. Now what is the LCM of 3 and 8 is 24. Now look at this, how I am doing. Now I found the common denominator. It is 24, right? So it is 24. Now look at this carefully. 8 times 3. How I can convert 3 into 24? By multiplying by 8. 8 times 3, 24. That means you want to do the same thing with the numerator. 8 times 2, it is 16. Right? 3 times 8, 24. You want to do the same thing. 3 times 7, 21. Right? Now what happened, children? Now you have fractions to add, right? Having common denominator. Now tell me what you can do. It's like this. 24, right? Then 16 plus 21. Go to the working column if need. 16 plus 21. It is 37. What is the answer? 37 over 24. Is this the final answer? Yes, you can keep it, it's not wrong. But this is an improper fraction, right? So we can convert this into a mixed number as the final answer. So how can you do that, children? 37 over 27. Again you move to the working column. 37 divided by 24, right? 24 times 1, 24. Then 37 minus 24, it is 13, right? How do you write this final answer? 113 over 24. This is the final answer. Now, can you understand? As I don't have enough space, I wrote like this. I had to write like this. If not, what you want to do? From the beginning, you want to learn these things, children. So, when you are, look at this. So, when you are having equation marks, so you want to write it nicely. And when you are, look at this, the plus points. And when you are maintaining the working column, so you always, you want to have a methodical way to work, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the examination, it will be very useful and marker will be happy to mark your paper, right? So that means you can't have, when he or she is happy, you cannot have more marks. But the thing is, when the person is marking your paper, when your teacher is marking your book, it's a pleasure for her. My child is doing a methodical thing, right? Methodical job, right? So we'll move to the next example. Okay, now look at this, the same thing. So you have two fractions, right, for addition. So 3 and 9, two different denominators. Now you want to find a common denominator. For that, you want to find the LCM. You move to the working column, you want to find the LCM of 3 and 9. So I'm going to have the second method again, 3 and 9. So if I'm going to select the prime number 2, I cannot do it because both the numbers here I have cannot be divided by 2. Then I have to miss it and I have to pass it and I have to move to the next prime number, that is number 3. 3, I use here 1 and 3. 3 times 3, 9, 3 times 1, 3. Again I want to divide till I get 1, 1, 1 finally. Then I select 3, 1, already it's done. So I just write 1 as it is and here 1. Now I have 1, 1. So that is the end of this division. Then what I want to do, children, I take these two numbers and 3 times 3, it is 9. Then what you want to do, look at this, the way I am doing, right? Carefully look at and follow this, right? Now what happened? 3 times 3, 9. That is how you convert 3 into 9, right? 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 1, 3. Here 9 you don't want to convert, so it is, you multiply it by 1. So 1 times 5, 5. Now what happened? So now you have common denominator 9. Then you just add the numerators, right? Then 8 over 9. So that is the final answer, right? Children, so I have taken much time to explain few basic concepts. Rather going through the textbook component, I took time to explain some concepts. So don't worry. So with the time, you will receive each and every topic before your monthly test or semester examinations, right? So this is not the end. It's a continuation. It's a series of videos, right? I'll give you a homework. In the next video, I'm discussing all the homework questions before I start the next video lesson, right? So what you want to do, take your textbook, right? Page 2, right? Exercise 1A. Exercise 1A, you want to do question 21 to 24. Question 21 to 24 you want to do, children, right? So that's your homework. Watch the lesson again and again. Try to understand the concept well. So we'll meet again with the next video. I'll come back to you with the answers for homework questions. See you, children.